We also journey to Princes Park, where North tackled Sydney. Top of the ladder versus bottom of the ladder. And the question still remains, can Sydney break through for a win? Find out as all the action comes your way on AFL Today. AFL Today. This morning, Ronald Dale Barassi armed himself with a pen, a pad, and he bought a record, and he headed off to Princes Park to watch the clash between North Melbourne and the Sydney Swans. I wonder why. Well, Sydney was trying to avert its 20th straight loss. North Melbourne were looking to hold its spot at the top of the AFL ladder. One important positional placing was that of Mark Bayes. He was given the job on North skipper Wayne Carey, who's been so damaging in the opening weeks of the season. Also watch out for a youngster, a most exciting youngster for North Melbourne, who wears the number 41 Guernsey. He booted 7 goals in his debut last week. His name is Adrian McAdam. Let's go to the action now. We're going to join Ron at Princes Park for the opening bounce of the first quarter.
And Tunbridge goes in against Ashenko. Dale Lewis, Troy Luff, taken by North Melbourne. Laidley out of the centre, ex-West Coast. There's a couple of those playing on both teams today. And the mark taken by Dean McRae, ex-Kangaroo.
That's right. He's got a lot to prove today. To half forward, oh, good mark. Going back with the flight of the ball, Glenn Archer. He played for North Melbourne. He played at fullback, actually, last week. Now, the ball punched away by Hutton. There's Kepler back in the side. They'll appreciate his running ability. There's Tunbridge getting it to Brunton, a real goer. Neil Brunton to the half-forward line. Michael Martin out in front. That's a good mark. Well, free kick in the finish. And what's happening as the umpire calls play on? Yes, he's playing the advantage and racing away with it is Jose Romero.
From centre wing, kick up towards half-forward. Ashenko got rid of Hutton and took the mark. So Ashenko from about 60 metres out. Ashenko's centering kick. McAdam in the front spot. Begovic with him. Free kick to McAdam. One of 3 brothers to have played at this level. Greg McAdam originally and Gilbert. They both played a lot of footy in South Australia. And free kick against Begovic. And off camera, you can't see him, but not far from us in the grandstand is Ron Barassi looking on and taking some notes. The man who is expected to be announced as Sydney Swans coach. McAdam, drop punt, good kick, a goal. Well, Roscoe, he's had a dream start to his AFL career.
Yes, no better you would see, though, Bruce. He's got some talent, this boy, and if he can complement John Longmire up there and also help assist Carey further down the ground, then he'll be a very good player for the Kangaroos in years to come. But Ashenko starting well there. Good strong mark in front of Tunbridge. And a good driving kick from that play, and a finish there by McAdam.
There's Adrian McAdam, the brother of Gilbert, the St Kilda Stars. Centre of the ground, Anthony Stevens trying to crash his way through the pack. Scott Waters. And the umpire has played on the shoulder. It will go to Stevens. Stevens a handball to Anthony Rock. Rock the long kick in towards full forward. Longmire at the front. Bryce at the back to thump it away. And Paul Bryce,
the former
North Melbourne player, and of course Melbourne as well. Forward pocket for North. There's Wayne Swass, who's had a great start to the year. Ashenko and Tunbridge. Tunbridge comes over the back. Tunbridge again goes for the fist away. Here's Scott Waters, the former West Coast Eagle. He went without it. Kelly was there. Now Waters. Waters a handball. Out the Wheeler. Wheeler with the dreadlocks. Off the ground and over the line, way out there at centre wing.
Sun shining brightly at Princes Park. Small but enthusiastic crowd as Tunbridge and Ashenko go together. 2 of the strong men in the AFL. Waters has been prominent early. And Tunbridge looking for a free kick with Wheeler putting the tackle on. But it's not going to happen, and it'll be a bounce down again. Top against bottom in this clash, but we saw something similar last week at the MCG, Adelaide and Melbourne, and an upset. That's John Blakey. A fair bit of footy now. Over 140 games coming to North Melbourne this year. Romero's little kick didn't go far. Daniels in the front spot. Bit of a ticky touch with one, but does get it at centre wing. So the ex-Saint from the centre of the ground.
Jason Daniels, normally an awkward-looking kick. That's not a bad one to the half-forward line. Troy Luff was there to fly for the mark. There's Ashenko. Now it's taken away by Scholl. On to Allison. Further afield to Big Roberts. This is Mark Roberts, a greatly improved player. Roberts back to Rock. Rock chips it in. The lead is on McAdam again. Oh, what a sensational debut in AFL football.
He's got clean hands, Pete, hasn't he? Just a couple of times, even last week, the balls looked as if it was going to carry over the top of his outstretched hands. But he's just got a beautiful timing and a nice leap. His hands are very clean. Terrific mark.
Well, we mentioned 7 goals against Richmond last Friday night, and this could be his second from 2 kicks. From directly in front, Adrian McAdam. He kicks, and he's gone. 2 goals to Adrian McAdam, and North a great start.
Well, he's stealing the show a bit, Pete, isn't he, away from Longmire? John Longmire's been very quiet, although he has kicked 20 goals for the season. 20 goals, 11 in fact. McAdam really is the player to excite everyone at the moment. But a good build-up too on that half-forward line. Roberts hanging on to the ball long enough to give off to the right option.
Splendid start for North and to McAdam in particular with 2 goals. Rock's handball okay. Roberts went without it. Oh, gee, Kepler was ordinary there as Roberts attacks the goal and kicks it right to the goal face, and it bounces through. Is it a goal? Yes.
Unbridge. Oh, it's thumped away for Sydney on that occasion by Werner. Here's Dale Lewis. Tapped on by Minton Connell. That's Laidley, a quick kick. McRae back with the flight. Beaten for it by Archer. He desperately wanted that ball. Here's Jason Daniels, centre wing versus Pyman. Daniels races away. Pyman put pressure on. Here's Tunbridge, too tall. Oh, against Ramiro. On to Kepler. Kepler should bomb it in long. He does. He's looking there for Minton Connell and Martin. Oh, a big fly at the back. Now a chance. Oh, Minton Connell went without it. Strooper dives in on it. Quick kick by Strooper. Minton Connell again. Tries a kick in midair. North desperately trying to get it out. There's Fairling. Now Laidley, all under pressure. He's kicked it out of bounds on the full. So it'll be a kick to Strooper, I would think. Strooper, well, it should have been Strooper's kick.
That's what I thought.
And taking it is Creswell, who was about 40 metres away. Now Creswell, that's intelligent play. Oh, umpire, well done by Laidley to spoil that. Ross Smith gives it across to Swass, and that was a wasted opportunity by the Swans.
Bays versus Carey. Here's Waters. Bouncing ball, eventually sits up. Drop punt towards Luff. Good mark. It's got Wheeler running. Held up, though, by Ushenko. Waters again, who has been prominent. He goes to Strooper with a good pass, and that's the most positive thing we've seen from Sydney today.
Well, that's the value of Scotty Waters too. Just gets the ball and does use it very well, either by hand or by foot, and he was the player that featured in both those passes there. Well played.
Strooper, another X, and had a good season last year for Sydney. He's one of their better players. Leans back on a drop punt, kicks it, gives it a bit of a hook, and hits the post. So bad luck there. David Strooper. Now Ron Barassi, as we mentioned, to the left of the broadcast box, sitting on his lonesome, making some notes, and obviously getting prepared for what would be the toughest job in football at the moment, coaching Sydney.
Yes, I really believe that's the reason he's taken it on too, as we see Scholl receiving from Michael Martin. Carey at the back. Off his hands to Rock. Rock will try and beat Bays. He does with pace. The chip pass, McAdam, and now just see if Hutton is picking up McAdam.
Yes, he is,
now.
yep. Which is an unusual role for him. He's normally a forward.
Quick change, Ross.
Yes.
Begovic now running with Roberts.
Two former West Australians in those positions.
Left forward pocket for North. Tunbridge and Carey did the work. Rock got a quick kick away under pressure. McAdam now out of play. And McAdam's been a surprise packet, hasn't he? Came in for Crocker last week at the MCG on the Friday night. Tunbridge, Brunton, Daniels taps it forward. Rock's handball. Here's Allison. Left foot, good kick. Is that a goal? It is. A freakish goal. Well, the floodgates could open here. I know it's early days, but you get a feeling that North are on a roll at 4 goals to a point.
Yes, particularly when players kick goals like that, Bruce, no doubt. When he's on his wrong side, Rock featuring again, he was almost just trying to centre that ball, but just the way things are going for North, the ball carries through, split the centre. Can't do much wrong, North, at the moment.
So Tunbridge versus Ashenko. That's in. So 24-1 as the kick on the left foot comes out. Daniels, now Luff. That was a good hand pass. Back to Brutton. Brutton all caught. McRae, oh, shouldn't have given it off to Waters then. Kepler from 55 metres. Darren Kepler kicks long and has missed, but that handball, Ross, a wrong option because the man was covered.
Yes, he could have actually the handball initially. Luff could have come forward rather than going back. 2 feet when he took that ball.
Smith bangs her back in for North Melbourne. Just a good kick. Scholl takes the mark almost up to centre wing. Former best and fairest of the club. Drop punt to centre half forward. Carey and Bays. Now Pyman to Allison. Allison to full forward. Longmire with a good sit here and a very good mark. Well, you wanted to be on him in the run, so to speak, didn't you? He looked a good chance to take that.
The player was in the box seat, Bruce, no question. We get a chance to look at this again. Bryce in front, Posey, but Longmire just the extra advantage of a bit of a run at it and took it cleanly enough to award the mark.
22 years of age, he's played 96 games and kicked 303 goals. He's got a great record, this man. Ex-leading goal kicker, Coleman medalist, kicks his first. And North Melbourne have raced away to lead 30-2. It's 5 goals without a miss.
Yes, the unfortunate thing for Sydney is some of their players are still a little undisciplined in picking up the running play of North Melbourne through that centre, particularly just too strong for the Swans at the moment. And then their marking strength up forward. Carey hasn't taken a mark as yet. However, the other players, McAdam and Longmire, doing well.
So we're back in the centre again as the raking kick comes down to Archer. And that was kicked by Darren Creswell. Now out wide, that was Allison. Ross Smith. Oh, North are looking good. In towards Longmire, thumped away by Bryce. Here's Kepler tapping it on. He should soccer it. He does. Here's Ramiro. Took a dive. Good umpiring not to fall for that. That was very good umpiring.
But just to mention the benches for both sides too. Considine and McGovern for Sydney, and for North Melbourne, Clarkson and German.
Roberts does battle. Kicked by Kelly. Didn't go far. Rock has been busy to fall forward. Hutton at the back. Oh, Carey should goal here. Around the body. He does. Well, it's hard not to be critical here. Another mistake at the back by Sydney, and Carey swooped on it to goal.
Yeah, it's a pertinent point there, Bruce. It is critical. It's easy to be critical from here, but just watch this. You've just got, if you're going to come through like that, Johnny, you've got to punch strongly right away from the danger zone or take the mark. Have confidence to take the mark, but most of the Sydney players are not within that confident frame of mind.
Well, what an onslaught. 6 goals to 2 points. As we see Dean McRae going without it. Kick there by Brunton to the wide open spaces. This is Jason Daniels waiting for the bounce. Holding the man. Free kick to Daniels on centre wing. Well, unfortunately, the start for the Swans, they've been blitzed early. There's Mitton Connell. I think he's been moved to centre half forward. There's that holding the man. It is not. Creswell was there. Now Pyman was grabbed. Umpire calling play on here. Daniels to Kelly. Kelly a quick kick. They're letting it go. The umps. Archer the flyer. There's Mitton Connell. Taken away by Anthony Stevens. A quick kick to centre wing. And they race. Oh, he's... I think Brett Allison's injured here. He might have... And so is Archer.
Watch this clash here. Archer and Ramiro. Ramiro and those two players clashing heavily. Oh, gee whiz.
Yeah, well, he went down hard, both of them, as you can see, but and Allison's dragging a leg, and Ramiro might be going off, and Archer's looks very, very groggy. Half forward, Carey went without it. Oh, danger here. Anthony Rock to Longmire. Punched away by Bryce was good play. They race in after it. Bays is there. Taken away by Longmire again. He taps it on. Here's McAdam. Oh, quick hands to Stevens. Stevens chips it back. Oh, great play, Stevens to Longmire.
But just an interesting observation there with Bryce's spoil, which is a very strong one. He spoiled back towards centre half forward. He could have perhaps come. He had time to spoil out to the boundary line to the more defensive area. They're the little things that just can make a bit of difference to your plays. We see Peter German warming up.
And Archer about to come off. Now Johnny Longmire for goal number 2. Kicks and sneaks it in for a goal. Well, this is a goal blitz. 7 goals straight. Sydney 2 points.
And the player coming off for Sydney, with German coming on for Archer, is Wheeler's coming off and McGovern is on. As you see that clash again between Ramiro and Archer. Archer coming off second best for what it looks as if Ramiro was going to, but he's up and okay.
Back in the centre, 42-2. Kelly ducked his head, gets a free kick. It was a high tackle.
Interesting, he's a renowned tagger, Kelly, but he's been picked up by John Blakey.
In the heart of the centre square. Stroop of the target. Front man in the North Melbourne, Ross Smith. The other number 15. Struggled a bit in the last year and a half, but he's been a great player and has started this season very well. Thumped away there by Begovic. Waters, who's certainly been the most productive of the Sydney players to date. Taken there by McGovern. Daniels under pressure. Back to McGovern. Had the run of it. Scholl dropped it and got a free kick. Didn't have the footy when he was tagged. Clever field there by Scholl. He had an understanding of what was happening around him. Goes to Carey. Bayes gives him a shove. Free kick, Carey. Longmire now leads. Carey goes to him. Longmire half volley was very good. Turns round, goes, bang, and McAdam.
To the place of McAdam there, Bruce, to make up the ground. The ball was almost looking like it was going to carry away from him. Those short steps of his to make up the ground, terrific. And Archer's now back on the ground and German off. So obviously he's okay.
Well, Geelong fans will be getting nervous, I reckon. That 37-17's in danger. McAdam from the goal square. Bang.
As we see McGovern. Oh, gee, they've lost it again as the kick comes in towards half forward. Sydney, that was McRae trying to get it away. He does eventually, out to the wide open spaces and over the line. The ball on centre wing, but what a blitz of goals this has been. North Melbourne playing with supreme confidence. 8 goals straight. Perfect weather conditions here in Melbourne. Schenko, oh, there's Stevens coming over the top, taken away by Scott Waters, who's trying very hard. To the half-forward line, up they go. Good mark, Lewis. Lewis over the top to Luff. Oh, Luff has tripped over. Then he taps it on. Strooper, oh, good tackling by North Melbourne. This is fairly, and North Melbourne committed. They got 3 and 4 around the ball every time. Big Mark Roberts. On the right foot, look at that kick to McAdam. Beautiful lead. He's a good player, McAdam.
When the ball's coming down like that, but it certainly makes a big difference. But John Hutton, again, just lacking coordinate to read the play and how the ball's going to come. He was about 15 metres behind.
Since when is he going to make a backman when he's been a full forward all his life, Ross? I mean, wouldn't you whack him down the other end and open up the forward line? Just try something. Here's McAdam going for goal number 4. Not a bad kick. Touched on the line. And that is their first behind. 8-1 plays 2 points. I mean, you could always move, Ross. I think you've been Mitten kind of up the ground.
Could do that, yes.
Bryce to bring her back in. Just a good kick, wasn't it, by McAdam? Right on 50. He's dumped it right there. Now Bryce looking for some options, and that also is a splendid kick for distance right down the centre. Tunbridge's target. Pyman held up by McGovern. Ramiro with some pace, but got a bad bounce in the end. Was unlucky. Committed himself. Quick kick away by Brunton. Centre wing. And free kick to Smith against Trooper. Sydney's been renowned for having very bad quarters this year. Hawthorn kicked 10 against them and won, Essendon 9 and Fitzroy 11 in separate quarters in their matches. And is this number 9 for North? No. Brian Hutton, mark paid, or was it paid?
Yeah, I think he has paid it actually, Bruce.
McAdam didn't think it was a mark, did he?
Hutton goes short and finds Begovic. Awkward looking kick, but effective to Waters. Some Western Australians combining here. Now an ex-South Australian taken out of it, Kapler by Schwass. Roberts. Schwass, well played. Now he's got a chance from here. Goes for it, bang, and puts it through. A thumping goal.
You see, he's a form player of North Melbourne. He's the catalyst through the centre of the ground for them. And here, just a slight fumble there by the Sydney Swans. Kapler, and Schwass just takes full toll. That was a great kick, as Bruce said. Great distance and accuracy.
Well, Bruce McAvaney talked about goal-kicking records. They've kicked 9, and there's plenty of time left in 8 minutes left in this quarter. How many are they going to kick? There's Daniels trying to get a boot to it. And in a season that it will be very, very even, percentage most important. If North can have a thumping win in the long run, that percentage can make a big difference. Centre wing. No, Laidley was held when he didn't have it. Has to be a free kick to Dean Laidley.
Another one of the ex-Western Australians playing here today. To Allison on the run. In a very good position to kick it to McAdam. Well played that time by Hutton. Allison gets another go. Tackle on him okay. Play on called. Umpires continuing to let it go, which is great. And Kelly and McAdam, it's out of play. The captain, best and fairest at the club last year. Rock, free kick going against Tunbridge. Ashenko hanging on. Awkward style Ashenko, but effective kick there. Longmire in the middle. McAdam for a 4th goal. He's got it. That's number 10.
And Bruce, that's exactly how he kicked a couple of goals last Friday night. Just sat behind the pack, allowed his man to go in the contest. Just see this again. Just sat down, Hutton and Bryce up. McAdam stayed down on the ground, which a forward can afford to do in that situation. And he kicked his 5th very easily. Well, 4th, I should say, very easily.
I was going to say, Peter, it's your worst nightmare come true, isn't it? 10-1 to 2 points.
Yeah, I really thought they'd be very, very competitive today with the side they had on paper, but they're not a team yet. They're a lot of individuals. Now, that was Creswell getting it out to Kapler. Kapler, the long bomb, and nothing going right for the Swans. He's missed. So there's Darren Kapler, formerly Fitzroy. Ross Smith about to be 10-1. Look at that scoreboard, still with 6.5 minutes of play to go till quarter time. Ashenko, Archer, a class mark. What a top mark that was. Now he's off. He brings it wide to the space. Racing after it is Creswell. Oh, he's beaten to it by Carey. Carey, the chip pass. Oh, Bryce did well. Longmire! I thought Bryce had done well to get front position, but Longmire used his body superbly.
Yes, and obviously a good kick. It was a bit hard to see from here, Pete, but obviously to the correct side of Longmire, the right-hand side, not just directly at the 2 players, but just sufficiently to the right to give Longmire a slight advantage.
John Longmire for goal number 3. Oh, hit the post. That would have been goal number 11 for the term. Well, what a blitz, Bruce.
Say that again, Peter. 62-3. And Bryce to bang it back in. Poor old Sydney. They've sunk about as low as you could get, you reckon. Allison. It's out when he kicked it. And it'll be a throw in at left half forward for North Melbourne. Just think that 7 or 8 weeks ago, North was in a similar position to Sydney. They were thumped by Adelaide. Look at this, 50-26 the kicks. I was at Football Park that night, and you reckon this team was dead and buried before the season had started. Now they're on top of the ladder, and they lead by 10 goals at this stage. Rock running it out. So it can turn around, but maybe we can't have 2 miracles in 1 year.
Well, the ball halfway between centre wing and half forward. There's a Schenko with the left hand trying to get it down to Rock. Ramiro's in after it. So's Brunton, Ramiro, and the umpire will have to bounce this one. 10 goals to North Melbourne. The Swans 3 points. And the hit-outs 8 to 6. Oh, well, just shows how important the hit-outs are. Don Scott. I must remind Don Scott about that one, the former Hawthorn champion. 8 to 4, and look at the scoreboard. And there's a free kick going North's way. And it will go not to Swass, it'll go to Blakey. Swass handed it over. John Blakey, former Fitzroy utility player. Beautiful kick in towards full forward. Longmire and Carey. And taken by Paul Bryce. He's getting the hoots of the North Melbourne supporters, being a past player of the North Melbourne Footy Club.
He's going to get plenty of work today too, Peter. He already has. McRae, another one from North Melbourne. Kick into the centre square. Chance for Brunton. Well played. Archie's been impressive. And Stevens with a long, awkward kick right to the square. Carey, strong hands. Longmire, bang. Misses. So the North Melbourne percentages not so good in the last few minutes as they go to 10-3 to 3 points.
Just doing it too easily, Bruce, too. I mean, this is the disappointing part from the Swans' point of view. They just are not prepared to even pick up a player, just man up. There's nothing hard about that.
Bryce, wobbly one. Roberts should take it on his chest. He does.
But that was no pressure again.
Roberts bangs it back in, 2-4 forward. Longmire's there. Schwass was at the back. Here's Longmire. Tried to break a couple of tackles. Kelly. Well, getting in his road was Begovic.
Ooh.
Free kick, Kelly, a bit lucky.
Oh, you can say that again. He ducked the head down there, Paul Kelly. North players weren't happy. Centre wing. Oh, geez, good overhead, Lewis.
Play the push, the
Push in the
umpire.
back.
Yep.
To Carey. And is that 50?
No, it came from his
No,
own
it was
player.
his own teammate,
Yep.
was it? Wayne Carey from 70 metres. Centres the ball. Your big men there. Schenko at the back. No mark. Taken away by Tunbridge. Good play on the Bryce. Bryce comes back into trouble. It gets away with it on the right foot to the half-back line. The loose ball is with Allison. On to Scholl. Back to Allison. Now to Blakey. Blakey, the long bomb. McAdam. No mark. Spoiled. Desperation there by Bryce to thump it through for a behind.
64 to 3. Gee, Bryce, you reckon he's played 4 quarters already? He's puffing and panting. He's had some work to do. Here's Hutton. Roberts again in the box seat. Werner was at the back. This man's been impressive early, Archer. Oh, well played, McAdam. You give him a chance from here. He's so mercurial. Look at that. Oh, yes, sirree.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1993 AFL Premiership season.
Yes, quite an extraordinary first quarter by North Melbourne, 11-5. Sydney did come back with a 7-goal blast in the second, but the bird had flown. Adrian McAdam would be sitting home at the moment, pinching himself. 7 goals last week, 10 this week. How good is AFL football? Longmire booted 9 for North. Dale Lewis, Sydney's main contributor in what has been one of their worst thrashings for many a long day.
Time now to check the CUB AFL 1993 Premiership season league ladder.
Very important game, really, for North Melbourne because looking ahead, they have a tough road to hoe. So they wanted to build on percentage today. They did that. North, West Coast and Footscray, who do battle tomorrow, as do Collingwood and Carlton and Adelaide. After going down to Hawthorn in Adelaide, make up the 6. Sitting just outside the 6, however, are Hawthorn, St Kilda and Fitzroy, with Geelong dropping down after their loss to the Bombers today. We shall take a break. I've got some dramatic news with Scott Palmer, though, for St Kilda fans, so stay with us.